It emerged this week that it would cost you only £7,650 to have dinner with Chief Secretary to the Treasury, Danny Alexander. No questions asked. The Lib Dem cash for access scandal was exposed by an undercover reporter. Alexander even said the money would make a big difference to the outcome of the election. So how can you at least find out about legal payoffs to your MP? IT specialist and co-founder of the website membersinterests.org.uk, Emma Tyers, has found a way. She joins me now. Welcome, Emma, to Going Underground. Lots of people saying the lobbying bill, the arguments in Parliament over that, all a bit of a sham. So why should people be better served by looking at membersinterests.org.uk?
Well, what we've done is we've taken the register of members' financial interests and we've indexed it. It's something that's currently out there in the public domain on the government website. It's accessible to everybody. We can all view it and see where people are receiving money from. But it's not open data. It's really just a big list, a series of pages, one per MP, and it's not very accessible, not very easy to use. So
do you think it's deliberate, that it's so difficult, even for journalists, to try and investigate ties between corporate interests and MPs and elected officials?
So the government do have an open data programme as part of the Speaker's Commission on Digital Democracy. And I know that the register is something that they've targeted for that, to open up the data later this year. It's difficult to do, frankly. From a technical perspective, it's completely unstructured data, and we had to create an index to it. So I wouldn't like to imply that, you know, there's any reason why it hasn't been done before. I think, frankly, it's just because it's difficult.
Well, we know about IT procurement, I think, in terms of government businesses. But yours is a browser extension that, so when an MP's name appears on a page, it'll automatically tell you how much money they got and from whom, so based on the database.
Yeah. So we've created an index, and there are three ways to use the index. One is, as you say, to have the browser extension, a button on your browser that you can click, and that creates a link from any MP names on the screen to their register entry. Or on our website, we've got a couple of searches that you can use. So you can select an MP and see their entry, or you can search by any keywords that you want.
Of course, you then have to research the company, as it were, and you still have to rely on undercover reporters to film people like Malcolm Rifkind and Jack Straw to figure out how they came to have had donations from companies. Exactly.
You know, it's not a source of data that you can use in isolation. The fact that there is an entry on the register doesn't mean that anything sinister is happening. It's very dangerous to draw conclusions just based on the register alone.
Do you think technology is going to be critical in terms of transparency vis-a-vis voters and their officials, elected officials?
Absolutely. I think people have come to expect it. This isn't the only kind of tool along these lines that's out there. There's a number of things on theyworkforyou.com, sites like that. And what we found, we put this out there just a few weeks ago, what we found is a lot of people saying, why hasn't this been done before?
Do you get the impression that when they decided to release all the data, that transparency and the ability for electors to use it wasn't the first thing on their minds? It was just dump it out there.
I have no idea. Like I say, there's a big programme on open data, and this is certainly on their hit list for after the election. It's something they're definitely going to do.
Now, you're also concerned with this website 999 call for NHS. Does that mean that you can look at issues such as the NHS and then look at MPs who are speaking about the NHS in Parliament and see where donations may be coming from private healthcare or from pharmaceutical companies?
Yeah, so it's what gave me the idea to do it. Being part of a 999 call for the NHS, there was a large report done a few months ago on MPs with private healthcare interests, and I went to look at the register. Register didn't look very friendly. Myself and my husband work in IT, so I asked him to try and tackle that, and that's what he did.
Of course, the problem is that we now know that the Tories got six-figure sums from people with dodgy HSBC bank accounts. Your website isn't going to help with that aspect of the political process, because that's necessarily hidden.
Yeah, party donations it doesn't cover. This is just donations to individual MPs.
Do you think that's something we will see? Because certainly there's talk about it being more transparent when it comes to donations.
I hope so. I think, you know, the more transparent these things are, the better.
And The website again, membersinterest.org.uk, and you can download the browser.
Yes, yeah, that's it. And we're on Twitter as well, @MP Interests.
Emma Tyers, thank you.
Thank you.